Welcome back to Marriage or Hell Nah. Fellas, I got another good video here for you guys today as we get back into our story time mode. I got to say shout out to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you guys hitting the subscribe button as well as the like button because that's how we get ahead of the algorithm and that way we can further grow. But fellas, I got a doozy here for you guys today. And what we're going to be talking about is the art of manipulation by the modern woman. Without further ado, let's get into the story. Wife quit her job without giving me a heads up to stay at home with the kids. We can't afford to live off just my income only. So you know this story is about to get brutal. So we have two kiddos. One is 4 and the other is 9 months old. We have all the usual bills like mortgage, utilities, student loans. I have $3,000 left. She has $25,000 left. Shocker. She has a $300 a month SUV payment and my car is paid off. Typical, gentlemen, typical. I got a new job last May because we needed to have decent benefits like health, vision, dental because my current job couldn't provide it and it was getting expensive. So I found one that offers great benefits and I work from home, which is cool because it saves gas money too. My salary is $50,000 a year. My wife was working 40 hours a week at home, same as me. Her salary is around $35,000. Pay attention to that. Before driving into work, she would drop off the kids at her parents'. Then after work, I would go pick up the kids and bring them home. But during my wife's pregnancy, she would bring up how going to work and having 2 kids is too much. Her job was starting to stress her out because they were always so busy and the owners would be grumpy at times and it kind of would spread around the workplace. So fellas, as you can see in this story, she makes less money than him. He's already on $50,000 a year trying to do the best he can for his family. He even pursued and found another job that was able to put his family in a better position. And what did she do? Knowing that she has a car payment and his car is paid off, she has more student loans than him. But what did she do? Let's keep going. She calls her parents on the phone every day to talk about their day, and I would hear her mom telling her to quit working because being a mom is a lot of work in itself, and that's what comes first. So as you can see, her mom is even encouraging her to do this, knowing that it would put a huge strain on the family finances. And keep in mind, losing $35,000 worth of income in the family, which would have been a total of $85,000, that's way more than the tipping point. My wife says she agrees with that and told me she wanted to talk about quitting or finding a different job. Somehow, I get the feeling it's going to be the former and not the latter. So we agreed on talking about it over the upcoming weekend and go over our financial situation first. Well, Wednesday comes around, she comes home saying that she put in her 2-week notice and her last day is December 3rd. I'm trying to stay cool without getting pissed off, so I bite my tongue. A few weeks go by and I finally broke down and told her that we're supposed to talk first to see if we can afford it, but she quit without giving me a heads up. I don't know, fellas. Let me know down there in the comments how you guys would have handled this one. But I'm already saying to myself, I don't think so. She was pissed off that I didn't get behind her staying at home with the kids. She said how she's a failure and she's just ruining everything. It's not that I don't want her to stay at home, but we literally cannot afford for her to do that. I wrote down our bills on a piece of paper and did the math to show how much money is left over. We couldn't have much, if anything, left to save or if an emergency came up. Fellas, this is classical modern woman manipulation. I told you she wasn't going to even look for a different job. I knew she would quit. But now that she's put a huge strain on the family, she is trying to use those manipulation tactics to be like, oh, it's my fault. I'm so sorry. Knowing that she was planning to do this the whole damn time. It's brutal, bro. So now we're eating into our savings as she keeps saying how much she needs to get a resume together. But it's been a couple of months and she hasn't done jack shit. I've asked her if she needs help with it, I could help. I offered to take the kids out for a few hours if she wants to work on it in peace and quiet. But she doesn't take me up on anything. She says that she doesn't want to go to work at any place. It has to be one she thinks that she will like, laugh out loud. So I don't know what to say anymore. Any advice? And he chimes in with a few edits. Number one, didn't think the post would blow up. No, I am not divorcing her. We have a great marriage. It's just a minor bump in the road. Marriages are marriages are meant to be worked through, not given up so easily. Now, I get what he is trying to do here. He took an oath, he took the vows, he is trying to honor his marriage. But what he is not understanding is the fact that she manipulated this whole situation. Now she don't even want to work anywhere, and he just lost $35,000 in revenue per year with 2 kids, and she has $25,000 in student loan debt and is still making car payments. It's almost like he's watched too many Dave Ramsey videos. Shout out to CGA on that. I think Coach Greg Adams, when he does the Dave Ramsey thing, is absolutely hilarious. And Dave is telling him, nope, you need to stay by this woman no matter what. I'm just saying, fellas, let me know down there in the comments how you guys would have handled this one. 2, my salary is decent for my low cost of living. Stop recommending that I get a better job. Just got this new job. It's better than my last with great benefits. Also, stop recommending that I get a second job. Then I would never get to see my family, and that's not fair. See, he doesn't realize that she put him in this bind to begin with. Now, let's get into the comments where all the good stuff is. And shout out to the first person chiming in. And if you guys saw my story time that I recently did, this is the same woman who has been going strong with her marriage for 32 years. And she is out here kicking some Reddit ass on the modern woman. Let's get into that. It sounds like that SUV needs to be sold and a less expensive vehicle purchased to replace it. It's also time to work up a budget that you can afford. That will mean downsizing your home. Cutting $35,000 out will mean a serious change in lifestyle. Preach. I'm sorry your wife made such a huge decision for your family unilaterally. That points to a much larger dysfunction. And as you can see, over 1,200 upvotes. Now he comes back and he says, true, I can really emphasize to her that the SUV is a good chunk of the budget. And if she wants to keep it, she's going to have to get a job very soon. My car is paid off. She could drive that instead. So I can make that a point too. Continuing on, we got a husband who's been married for 5 years and he decides to chime in. There's also some manipulative, passive-aggressive tactics going on where she calls herself a failure to redirect the argument towards him, making her feel better while simultaneously guilt-tripping him by telling him he isn't being supportive. What have I been saying throughout this whole video? Shout out to this husband. I think it's appropriate for your wife to ask her mother to help out one way or another, since she was so insistent on your wife quitting her job. Now, in the final commenter comes in and says, great time to sell it too. You'll get a good chunk of money back. That's a great point, because if you look around, the car market is absolutely up. So it could be new cars, it could be used cars, it could be parts. Everything has got to be at least 30 to 40% more expensive. Time to cash that puppy in and get that money back. If you guys enjoyed this content here on the channel today, Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.